Good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Make sure you follow me on the Parler app at Jericho Green and get all green gear 25% off. Promo code BYE2020, all caps BYE 2020. So, you remember the social experiment diaper fire known as, what's her name, Sarah Fuller, the first female to kick in an FB5 football game, whatever that convoluted bullshit is. Then her whack-ass low kickoff that went 30 yards, half the average, less than half of the average distance that a kickoff travels when a man boots it. So they had her get out there, do the bullshit kick. The other team just jumped on the ball. They didn't even pursue it. They didn't even try to run it back. Vanderbilt ended up getting their asses whooped in that game. Who was it? Wasn't Tennessee. I remember who it was. Whoever they played. Oh, Missouri. They got in that ass like a bike with no seat. So they got worked in that game, and then she had the nerve to give this speech and call out the players during halftime, and that was her first time stepping on the field. She didn't play with them. She didn't build any camaraderie. Well, this is how we do it on the soccer team, guys. So she's telling them shit. They had the nerve to give her co-SEC Player of the Week. That's right. She goes out there, performs subpar, gets an award. Some people wrote articles comparing her to who? Who, you ask? That's right, no other than Jackie Robinson. You know, the man that broke the color barrier in professional baseball? Yeah, they compared this girl that goes to college in 2020 to him. I know, shit's crazy. Well, let's put another layer of crazy shit on it. So, yesterday, they played Tennessee, and they wanted her to be the first girl to kick an extra point in an FB5 football game, blah, blah, and blah. So she gets out there, she lines up, and she walks off her steps and everything, and they kick the ball, or she kicks the ball, and it goes through the uprights. Never mind, it was barely 8 feet off the ground. Probably the lowest extra point I've ever seen. Easily blockable, very blockable. You got the guys up the middle. They try to jump up and block the extra point up the middle. You got, I think they're called gunners. They come off the edges trying to get in there and jump across the kicker's path and block the kick that way. But in this particular play, in this particular COVID-spawned social experiment, because this is part of the sweet and sour sniffles lockdowns and shit. You don't have as many people attending these games. In some cases, no one is attending these games. You got kids at home, not on campus. You've taken away the school spirit. So this is a throwaway. There's all these seasons and shit. These are experimental seasons. Since we don't have the asses in the seats, it's all kind of weird. It's all fucked up. No preseason, no OTAs, all that. No practicing before the season, no preseason. So let's try some shit. Let's throw it against the wall and see what sticks. So let's get this girl out here in an actual football game. We couldn't pull this shit off under normal circumstances, but under the COVID haze, let's try it. Now these guys, what's fucked up is that the guys on the other team didn't even try. So not only did they force the guys on her team on Vanderbilt to buy into this bullshit, and you could tell that they were forced by the lackadaisical half-ass, props and all good job that they gave her afterwards. But the other team, because the gunners I told you about and the guys that try to jump up in the air and block it in the middle, they didn't do that. You can see one guy in the video on the right, the kickers or stage left, our right. You can see him half-ass jog up the field and then start to walk off the field before the completion of the play. Now, under normal circumstances, if we had boys playing against other boys, those dudes would have ran in and had a male kicker, perform the same way, and everybody on the field wasn't on some half-speed bullshit. They would have blocked the shit out of that ball. It would have been bouncing the other way. They would have ran up, scooped it, and scored. And if the kicker ran down there and tried to stop him, they either would have got stiff-armed into the turf or some other player would have ran up and blocked them out of their cleats. But because it was a girl, you guys pull it back, reel it in. But coach, she's out here playing. I know, but it's just for publicity. You got to reel it in. You can't hit her. But coach, this is a real game. I know. But we're virtue signaling. You can't really hurt her. But coach, she has pads on and a helmet. I know, but this is just for optics. But coach, if that was a boy, I know. But it's not, it's a girl. So we got to take it easy. This shit isn't for real. She's the test dummy. She's the guinea pig. This is a giant petri dish. They're testing it out. And they're going to roll these girls out here. Since they can't get the girls up to snuff, the girls will never be bigger, stronger, and faster. Let's change the boys. Let's make them go out there and play half speed. You know how it was when you were a kid. If a girl came out there, you didn't tackle her the other way. Let me tell you a quick story. I'm trying to tell you a story. So when I was in my mid-20s, many moons ago, so I was taking Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. All guys, varying ages. And when I first started, the only person I could beat, there was this 15-year-old kid in there named Macon. And he was the only one I could beat because of just pure size advantage. Like I said, he's 15 years old. His bones haven't even hardened yet. Still all wet behind the ears. So he was the only one I could beat. I used to get him called a bow and arrow, was basically, or the bow or whatever, where you put your knee in their stomach and you pull up by their gi on right here and at their feet and you bend them in half with your knee pushing down on their stomach. That's a move I'd always do on him because he was so much smaller than me. I was so much bigger than him that skill meant nothing. So one day we come into class and there's a girl sitting there putting on or tying up her belt around her gi. And we're all like, is she left over from the class before? Oh no, she's in our class. So with all the guys, when it was guys on guys, we'd always, you stretch, do your exercise, do your warm-ups, and then you break off and you spar in 5-minute rounds with everybody in the classroom. Everybody rotates. So when it came time to spar, when it was guy on guy, full strength, boom, tapping out, bam, bam, cranking down on this and hip tossing and all this kind of shit. It was rough. But when it came time to go against this girl, I don't know if I mentioned before, but she was 16. A 16-year-old. That's a whole nother layer of I'm not touching you added to it. So when it came to her, all the guys were like, nah, you go ahead and get me. You get me in a hold. You go ahead. You take my arm. Or here, you take my back and you go ahead. And we put her in control because it was weird to manhandle a woman. Not to mention she was 16. That was even more weird. But it was strange. It was foreign to be fighting against and sparring against a girl. When I was younger, taking Taekwondo and shit, it was always weird to spar against the girls because it's drilled into our head and it's imprinted in our DNA to be gentle with the ladies. What are the 3 words every boy hears? From when he's knee-high to a damn grasshopper? Don't hit girls. So we're taught not to hit girls. Why? No one tells you don't hit boys. Because boys are equal physically. They can take it. Girls are more fragile. They're softer, more gentle. They smell better. So to now put these girls out on the field with these young men is weird and foreign and wrong and not fair, unless you're going to keep dulling the rules. You're going to keep making it easier and softer and gentler for the girls. Don't block her kick. Don't tackle her. Feminists, where the fuck are you? Where are all the feminists? Because you think you can do what a man can do, but they're lowering the standards for you. They're giving you a stool to hop over the wall while the men have to struggle and pull themselves up. How come you're not outraged about this? Where are you crazy pink-haired fuckers at? Where are you feminazis? Where are you? I haven't heard nothing. Why aren't you guys out here jumping up and down? Because they're lowering the standards for you, saying you can't cut it at the same standards that we have. Where the fuck are they? They're nowhere because they're not serious. This is a social experiment. They're seeing what the post-COVID residue is going to be. And then we're going to have girls out there lining up against the boys. Man, just watch the video. What is this shit? If a male kicker kicked like that, even though he made it, they would clown the shit out of him for how low that kick was and the fact that nobody came in to try and block it. You think that would throw her off mentally? You think she might not shit her girl football pants? If all of a sudden this is a live fire exercise and these dudes can come in and tackle your ass or block your kick? Yeah, it would have. There's no way in the world she would have made that kick if those boys on the other team were allowed to play her as if she were her male counterpart. No fucking way. That ball was like a foot over the upright. But this is what they want. Blur the lines. Get rid of it all. There's no more boys and girls. We're just people. Those aren't genitals. It's just skin hanging off of your body. Or it's just a hole down there. That's all it is. There's no differences. Yeah, there is. Stop blurring the lines before you get one of these girls laid out on the football field or in the locker room. You took a spot for me. That was my spot. I've been training to learning how to kick for 10 plus years. I've been going to camps. My parents been buying me those little stands to hold the ball, those little kicking tools, exercises. I've been doing this. And here you come like, which way do I kick the ball? How do you think that makes those young men feel? Pretty pissed off. You're going to mess around, put one of those girls out there. You're going to get one of these boys that don't give a fuck, who feels slighted, who feels cheated. Something bad's going to happen. But hey, it's all in the name of equality, so fuck it. Let me get home to my beautiful wife and kids. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Get your Jericho Green notification tone link in the description box. Utilize the PayPal link and the Teespring link to get your green gear. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.